How are you, students? I am Raghujaman, Shatka Town Bus High School Assistant Teacher English. It's our heartfelt expectation that you are doing well at your house. We are also fine. Because of the pandemic disease, we can't now hold our classes regularly at our school, but we have been able to take class online because of the benefit of digitalization. And this is a great initiative taken by the present government, especially by our great leader, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Okay, today I am going to take class on sentence, class 10. So you look on the whiteboard and you can see two writings here. Okay, so can you give any name to this writing? The first one is by taking preparation, and the second one is we go to class and take preparation. So can you give any name to the first writing and the second writing? Yes, this is the part of sentence. The first writing is the part of the sentence. Okay? The first writing is the part of the sentence. This is not a complete sentence. Okay? Because by taking preparation, there is to say this writing has no complete meaning itself. But if you look at the second sentence, we go to class after taking preparation. So this writing has a complete sense, complete meaning. Because we go to class after taking preparation. It means we go to class when we take preparation. So this writing has a complete meaning, complete sense. So this writing is called sentence. But the first writing, its meaning is not complete. So that is why it is not a sentence, it is a part of a sentence. Okay. So you are right. Today I am taking class. The topic of the class would be certainly sentence. Sentence. So, can any one of you give the definition of a sentence? No problem, I am giving the definition. If we give the definition of a sentence, I can write here, you will follow me. Set of words that is complete in itself, containing typically a subject and a predicate contain conveying statement, question, exclamation, comment and consisting of main clause and sometimes one or more subordinate clause. Subordinate clauses. So this is the definition of the sentence. Okay. So if you look at the definition of the sentence, you can see some characteristics of a sentence. Okay. So what are the characteristics? The first one is a sentence must have a set of words that is complete in itself. That means a sentence must contain a group of a collection of the words, and its meaning would be certainly complete. So if you look at the sentence, we go to class after taking preparation. This sentence contains a collection of words. Its meaning is complete. So if you look further, containing typically a subject and predicate. That means a sentence must contain a subject. So if you look at the sentence, here we can do subject, here we, and another part, the sentence must contain predicate. What is predicate? Do you know what is predicate? Yes, predicate is the part of sentence that must contain a verb. Okay, what is the verb here? Go. Go is the verb. And there is something that must tell something about the subject. There is a verb and two class after taking preparation. This part tells something about the subject. That is to say, this part gives more information about the subject. That is why this part, go to class after taking preparation, this part is called predicate. So, are you clear? What is predicate? Predicate is the part of the sentence that must contain a verb and something that tells or that speaks more about the subject. So, we can say, go to class after taking preparation. This is the predicate of the sentence. Number 3, if you look further into the definition, we can see this sentence must convey, that is, this sentence must tell what a statement or question or explanation or comment. So if you look at the meaning of the sentence, we go to class after taking preparation. This is a sentence and it is simply a statement. What? It is simply a statement. If you look further into the definition, you can see clearly consisting a main clause and sometimes one or more subordinate clauses. So here, what is the main clause? Here we can say we go to class. This is the main clause of the sentence. Sometimes a sentence can contain one or more subordinate clauses. So here we go to class. This is the main clause of the sentence. So we can see this sentence fulfills all the conditions of the definition of a sentence. So that is why we will say we go to class after taking preparation. It is a complete sentence. Okay. Now, if you look at the definition, one of the most characteristics of the sentence is what? A sentence must contain a main clause. So we have to have a clear information. What is clause? Do you know the definition of clause? No matter. I will write here the definition of clause. You look at me, you follow me. Clause. Clause. What is clause? Clause is a part of a long sentence. That must contains a subject and a finite verb. Finite verb. Okay. So if I explain the definition of clause, clause is a part of a sentence. Clause is not a sentence. You remember, clause is a part of a sentence. But only part of a sentence is not enough. That part of a sentence must contain what? A subject. The subject. And what is the other thing? That is a finite verb. So here is another new term. What is new term? Finite verb. So we have to know the definition of finite verb. Do you know what is the definition of finite verb? No matter. I am here writing. What is the definition of finite verb? I will make it clear to you. Finite verb. Finite verb is a verb that is used according to particular tense and the number and the portion of the sentence. So are you clear? Here I have given a definition of a finite verb. So what is finite verb? A verb that is used according to a particular tense. According to a particular tense, that is to say the verb must follow a certain tense. What is the another thing? The verb must follow the number and person of the subject in the sentence. This is the definition, and you will be clear when this is the definition, and you will be clear when I will give you some example here. Okay, you will follow me. Rina feels happy attending the online class. Number one, then I will give you 3 examples, okay? Number 2, Rina felt happy attending online class started. Number 3, all students feel happy attending online class. So here I have given you 3 examples. Okay. Number 1, you will do in the example. Rina feels happy attending the online class. Here we can see. Here we can see 2 verbs. Number 1 is feels, and another one is attending. In the second sentence, we can see 2 verbs, felt, another verb is attending. In third sentence, we can see feel, and another one is attending. In the 3 situations, we can see the verb feel changes when the tense changes, when the number and person changes, the verb also changes. In the first case, Rina feels happy. Here the verb feel follows a certain tense, that is to say present indefinite tense, and here the verb also follows the subject, the number and person of the subject. Here Rina is third person singular number, so this verb takes is at the end of the verb. But here another verb attending, attending doesn't follow any tense or the person and number of the sentence. In the second case, if we look very minutely, here the verb felt. This verb follows a certain tense, namely past indefinite tense. So that is why this verb has been used according to the structure of past indefinite tense. But attending doesn't follow any tense. Attending doesn't change. It is the same as it was before. In the third case, feel, it is present indefinite tense. The verb has been used according to present indefinite tense. It follows the subject. Our students, this person plural number. That is why this verb doesn't take s after the end of it. So in three situation, three cases, the verb feel changes according to tense, number, and person. But attending in all the situation remains the same. Attending doesn't follow the tense or the number or the person or the subject. That is why the verb feel is called finite verb, and the verb attending, as it doesn't follow the number and person and the tense of the sentence, subject, that is why it is called non-finite verb. So I will give you the definition of non-finite verb. Okay, we have got the definition of finite verb, and I will give you the definition of non-finite verb. So can you give the definition of non-finite verb? Look at me. Follow the whiteboard. Non-finite verb. A verb that doesn't follow any particular tense, number, and person of the sentence. So I think you are clear about the term non-finite verb. A non-finite verb doesn't follow any tense, any number, or the person of the subject in the sentence. So I think you are clear. So now I will give you some examples so that you can find out what is finite verb and what is non-finite verb. Okay, I will give you three sentences. He goes to school. After finishing his task. Number one. Number two. Without working hard, you cannot expect good results. Okay. he or train liked by me. Here I have given you three examples, and now we will find out what are the finite verbs of the sentence and what are the non-finite verbs. Okay? So in the first sentence, if you look in the first sentence, here you will see two words. Number one is goes, and another one is finishing. In the second sentence, if you look into it, you will see walking, and another verb. What is the another verb? Can. In the third sentence, if you look deeply into the sentence, you will see the first verb is born. In the second sentence, the second verb is light. So can you identify in the first sentence which one is finite and which one is non-finite? Yes, goes. This verb has been used here according to particular tense, namely present indefinite tense, and it also follows the subject. Here the subject is third person singular number. That is why this verb is taken s after it. Okay, and that is why it is called finite verb. And in the second case, finishing, this verb doesn't follow any certain and particular tense. It doesn't follow the subject. That is why it is called non-finite verb, finishing. In the second case, second sentence, what is the finite verb? Here, you are right. Can. Can has been used according to a particular tense, namely present indefinite tense. And that is why it is called finite verb. And working. Working doesn't follow any tense or particular number and personal subject. And that is why working is called non-finite verb. Right? In the third one, what? This verb has been used according to a particular tense, namely past indefinite tense. And that is why this verb is called finite verb. And the second one, liked, it doesn't follow any particular tense or the person and number of the subject. That is why it is non-finite. So I think these three sentences have been clear to find out what is finite and non-finite. I think you are clear about finite and non-finite verb. So now we will come to the main term, clause. Clause. I will write the definition again here. Clause. What is the definition of clause? A part of the long sentence. The word of a long sentence having a subject and a finite verb. Okay? What is the definition? A clause must be a part of a sentence. Okay? But that is not enough. This part of the sentence must contain a subject and a finite verb. And you have already known the definition. What is the finite verb? I think you are clear. So, if a part of the sentence is a clause, that must fulfill the condition of having a subject and finite verb. Otherwise, that part of the sentence cannot be called a clause. Okay. So I will give you another example to make it more clear to you. Okay. I will give you the same example I have already mentioned earlier. When we take preparation we go to class. This is one example. And another example I am going to give you. Without a heart, walking hard, you cannot, can't expect a good result. Here there are two sentences I have given here. The first one, when you take preparation, you go to class. So can you find out how many clauses are there in a sentence? Yes, I will help you. When we take preparation, this is the part of long sentence. When you take preparation, we go to class. This is long sentence, and there is one part when you take preparation. This is the part of the sentence, and another part is we go to class. Here we can see two parts of the sentence. So this part, can you call this part a clause? When you go to preparation, if we look into the definition of the clause, we will see here that this part has contained a subject, we, and another term, a finite verb. What is that? Take. Take here has been used according to a particular tense, namely present indefinite. So this part, when we take preparation, has fulfilled the definition of a clause. So that is why we call it is a clause. When we take preparation, this part is a clause. Another part, we go to class. Can you call it a clause? Yes. This is another part. This part also contains a subject, namely we, and the finite verb go. This go has been used according to a particular tense, that is present indefinite tense. And so this is also a clause. So are you clear about the term clause? Certainly. So this sentence has two clauses. Number one, when you take preparation, and another one, you go to class. Okay. And in the second page, if you look in the second page, here we will also see some parts of the sentence. Number one, without working hard. Without working hard. This is the part of the sentence, but can you call a clause? No. Yes, right. This is not the part. This is not the clause, because this part doesn't contain any subject and a finite verb. This part is a verb working, but is the verb working has been used according to a particular tense? No. This verb working doesn't follow any particular tense. So what is the verb we can call? You can call this verb is a non-finite verb. We have already got the definition, I have given it earlier. So this is non-finite verb and there is no subject here. So this part without working verb, this is not a clause. So what can you call it? Yes, this is also part of the sentence and it is phrase. This is not a clause. Are you clear? Certainly you are clear. But in the second case, second part, you can't expect a good result. This is a part of the sentence. Can you call a clause or phrase? Right. This is the clause because you is the subject. Can't. Can is the finite verb because can has been used here according to a present indifferent particular tense. So this part is called you can't expect a good result. It is a clause. Okay. So I have to give a definition, another term related to the topic. That is, what is phrase? We know the definition of clause. Now I will give the definition of what is phrase. All these terms are very related to the main topic sentence. Okay. I will give you the definition of phrase. Phrase. A phrase is a collection of some words having particular meaning. Okay? What is phrase? A phrase is a collection of words. Remember, a phrase cannot be word. What is the difference of word and phrase? A word is simply a single word. But what is phrase? A phrase must contain a collection of words, more than one words, and that must have a particular meaning. Only then that collection of words can be called phrase. Okay? So I have to give another example to make it clear to you. We read books to get pleasure. We read books to get pleasure. This is a sentence. Can you identify any phrase in the sentence? Certainly, I will help you. To get pleasure. This is the part of the sentence. And this part of the sentence will certainly be called phrase. This is not a clause. Remember, we read books. This is clause because in this part there is a verb we and another finite verb that is read. Why it is finite verb? This verb has been used according to a particular tense, namely present indifferent tense. But the another part to get pleasure. There is no finite verb here. There is a verb, get, but is it finite verb, non-finite verb? Certainly it is non-finite verb because it is not used according to any particular tense. It doesn't follow the subject, it doesn't follow the number and person of the subject. That is why it is called non-finite verb. So, to get pleasure, it has a particular meaning, complete meaning, that is to say, our purpose is to get pleasure. So it has a particular meaning to get pleasure. And this part of the sentence has more than one words. Collection of words. How many words here? Two. Number one, two, three. There are three words. Collection of words. But it has a particular meaning. So that is why it is called phrase. This part of the sentence we will call phrase. This part of the sentence we will call phrase. Okay, clear? So dear students, I think now we have been clear about so many terms. How many terms we have been here discussed? Number one, the definition of sentence, the definition of clause, the definition of finite verb, the definition of non-finite verb. So I think you are clear about the clause. Now, come to the main point. Can you tell how many kinds of clauses are there in a sentence? Yes. In English language, there are three clauses. But we need here only two clauses. That is to say, principal clause and subordinate clause. I will give you the definition of principal clause and subordinate clause. Principal clause. Principal clause. Clause. Having or complete meaning and starts give you another definition, subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. Clause. Having an incomplete meaning. Meaning with a subordinate conjunction, subject and non-finite verb. It is called subordinate clause. Now I think you are clear about the two terms, principal clause and subordinate clause. Next time I will give you more example to give you the definition of sentence. I think till then it will be very okay at your house. I think you will follow the rules of health and sanitation and will keep well. It's my great expectation. So till then, have a good time.